I want to say thank you to an astonishing young studio, DreamWorks, for having the courage to hire a bloke from English theatre to do a movie about American suburbia and then trusting him.
American Beauty is a poignant exploration of suburban disillusionment and the pursuit of personal freedom. Directed by Sam Mendes and released in 1999, the film delves into the seemingly perfect but profoundly troubled life of Lester Burnham, played by Kevin Spacey. Lester, a middle-aged advertising exec, becomes infatuated with his daughter's friend, Angela, which triggers a series of events that unravel the facade of suburban contentment. The film skillfully weaves together themes of identity, desire, and societal norms, challenging viewers to question the meaning of happiness and fulfillment in modern society. Through evocative cinematography and powerful performances, particularly by Spacey and Annette as Lester's wife, Carolyn, American Beauty offers a searing critique of the American dream and the superficiality of suburban life. Facts First presents the controversial scene that was cut from American Beauty. In the original ending of American Beauty, Lester Burnham is tragically shot and killed by his daughter's boyfriend, Ricky Fitz. But an alternate ending was filmed but ultimately discarded. Initially, Alan Ball and Sam Mendes envisioned a distinct ending for American Beauty. Instead of concluding with Lester's demise and leaving the fates of other characters open to interpretation, the alternate ending implies Ricky and Jane in Lester's death. Ricky, who had been covertly filming Lester's activities, finds himself and Jane facing accusations based on these recordings, presented as evidence in court. The hopeful future they had envisioned collapses into despair as they're apprehended just before embarking on a journey towards an uncertain destiny. Their arrest for a crime they didn't commit adds another layer of gloom to the already somber tone of the film, providing an even more melancholic conclusion to a narrative that wasn't particularly uplifting from the outset. Thankfully, that ending wasn't chosen. One wonders how the film would have turned out otherwise.
The film explores and hinges on people's perceptions of each other and, in many ways, their perceptions of themselves. And I think it examines how easy it is and convenient it is, often, for people to see what they want to see, believe what they want to believe, and very often can be dead wrong. And how that can not only lead to misunderstanding and can lead to confusion, but it can lead to tragedy.
What made this an American Beauty? Now let's look at some of the interesting trivia that makes American Beauty such a classic. Script inspired by real events. Alan Ball, the writer of American Beauty, was inspired to write the script after reading about a case of a man murdered by his own son. This event sparked Ball's exploration into themes of suburban discontent and familial dysfunction. Rapid production. Despite its critical acclaim and lasting impact, American Beauty was produced on a relatively tight schedule. The entire film was shot in just 53 days. Lester's dream car. Lester Burnham's dream car, the 1970 Pontiac Firebird, plays a significant symbolic role in the film. But it was not the original choice. Initially, the filmmakers intended to use a 1969 Chevy Chevelle, but they later switched to the Firebird due to its sleeker appearance. Kevin Spacey's improvisation. Kevin Spacey improvised some of the film's most memorable lines. For example, the iconic line, "I rule," was entirely improvised by Spacey during filming. Mena Suvari's audition. Mena Suvari, who played Angela Hayes, initially auditioned for the part of Jane Burnham, Lester's daughter, but the filmmakers thought she was better suited for the role of Angela. Hidden symbolism. Director Sam Mendes incorporated various symbolic elements throughout the film. For instance, the color red is prominently featured and symbolizes passion, desire, and sometimes danger. This is evident in the red rose petals, Angela's red sweater, and Lester's red door. Real estate office scenes. The scenes set in the real estate office where Carolyn Burnham works were filmed in an actual office building, but to create a more sterile and impersonal atmosphere, the filmmakers removed all personal items from the desks and walls. Annette Bening's preparation. Annette Bening extensively researched her role by shadowing a real estate agent. She learned about the intricacies of the profession and incorporated those details into her performance. Inspiration from Blue Velvet. Director Sam Mendes drew inspiration from David Lynch's film Blue Velvet when creating the darkly surreal atmosphere of American Beauty. Both films explore the darker aspects of suburban life and feature enigmatic characters. Academy Awards success. American Beauty received widespread critical acclaim and won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director for Sam Mendes, Best Actor for Kevin Spacey, Best Original Screenplay for Alan Ball, and Best Cinematography for Conrad L. Hall. Cultural impact. Since its release, American Beauty has had a significant cultural impact and has been praised for its portrayal of suburban madness and the darkness of a life seldom explored. It remains a thought-provoking piece and an influential film that continues to resonate.
The writing was so good, but I knew how difficult it was going to be, some of the work was going to be, and emotionally demanding. I felt an instinctive and intuitive connection to the character. I'm laughing now because she's such an insane maniac, but...
When Sam Mendes agreed to direct American Beauty, he had Kevin Spacey and Annette Bening in mind for the roles of Lester and Carolyn from the start. But casting wasn't straightforward as the studio needed to give approval. Before Spacey and Bening were cast, Chevy Chase and Tom Hanks were offered the role of Lester but declined. Additionally, Kevin Costner, John Travolta, Bruce Willis, Jeff Daniels, and Woody Harrelson were all considered for the part. The role of Carolyn saw considerations for Holly Hunter and Helen Hunt. During the casting process, several actresses were considered for the role of Angela, including Kirsten Dunst, Brittany Murphy, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Katie Holmes, but they all declined the offer. Kate Hudson, Mahendra Delfino, and Tiffany Thiessen auditioned but didn't get the part. For the role of Ricky, Seth Green and Jake Gyllenhaal auditioned. Jessica Biel was initially cast as Jane but had to withdraw from the project because it conflicted with her commitments to Seventh Heaven. Christina Hendricks, known for her role in Mad Men, disclosed on Instagram that she was the hand model featured on the poster, but the stomach depicted in the poster belongs to Chloe Hunter, not Hendricks. The poster carries the tagline, "Look Closer," which alludes to the deeper meaning behind the film's title. American Beauty refers to a type of rose known for its outward beauty, but often hides decay beneath the surface. The tagline encourages viewers to examine beyond the surface of suburban life to uncover its darker truths. In the beginning of the film, Carolyn conducts an open house for potential buyers who ultimately decide against purchasing the property. After her unsuccessful attempt to sell the house, she experiences a breakdown when she's alone. Annette Bening delivered a remarkable performance in this scene. She drew inspiration for her portrayal of Carolyn from her observations of suburban mothers while working as a babysitter. She noted the stark contrast between how people present themselves publicly versus the reality behind closed doors, which informed her understanding of Carolyn's character. American Beauty draws influence from various sources, weaving together themes and motifs that contribute to its rich and complex narrative. One notable influence is the character of Lester Burnham himself, whose name serves as an anagram for Humbert Learns. This clever wordplay suggests a connection to the character Professor Humbert Humbert from Vladimir Nabokov's novel Lolita and its subsequent film adaptations, though the original adaptation, directed by Stanley Kubrick and starring James Mason and Peter Sellers, was the bigger influence. Now it's time to hear from you. What was your favorite scene from American Beauty? Let us know in the comments section below.